child's abandonment experience? Do you acknowledge it? What words have you ever provided to help them to link their feelings and their experience to abandonment? Do you have a good understanding of age-appropriate terms to use around abandonment? I mean, really, you're not going to say abandonment to a 4-year-old. Have you been abandoned? You know, and how did you resolve that? Or have you resolved that? Because that's going to be, for parents, a real trigger if that's something, if they've got that same frame of abandonment going on. It's going to be a real trigger for them to be dealing with their child's abandonment. Go into immediately, and we'll never leave you to be like that again. Now, I've said earlier that they're wary of those forevers, that they don't believe them. But there is a time and a place to use them. So if you're going to use a negative about explaining to them their experience of abandonment, you do want to come in with some reassurance. I mean, that, you know, they're going to take what they can take and do what they can do with it according to their age and their ability to cope and integrate information. You're just putting it out there along with your love and your reassurance. Try to use the feelings that go with words. Safe to project then onto what it might be. Remember I said earlier, the brain likes to have feelings attached to experiences, or words attached to feelings and experiences. So put the words in. You don't want to say it in a way that this implies that that's what they had to feel, but you can say that you might have felt that way, or they might have felt that way. Any kind of therapy is good for this. I know everybody has their favorite therapies. I certainly have my favorites. The important thing about finding a therapist to help you deal with the abandonment issue or any other adoption issue is that the therapist truly understands adoption. If they tell you that they've worked with many adoptive families, no, that's not good enough. I want to know how much real training you've had. How many adoption conferences do you go to a year? How many of the books, how many of the authors? Do you know who Daniel Siegel is? Do you know who Adam Pertman is? You know who, you know, like they've got to know the major players in adoption. And if they don't, then that's probably not the therapist for you. Adoption puts another layer over the original trauma, and so just being a trauma specialized therapist is not adequate to help your child deal with this. Abandonment, as I said, is not going to be resolved really, if ever, but certainly not to adulthood. So you're going to revisit this. And I would suggest that whenever you've had a smooth time and then things start to go rocky again, that what's actually happened is the child's, again, more of their defenses are dropping, more of their denial is dropping, and they're experiencing more of the abandonment. And so I would encourage you strongly at acting out times to see these as clues about the abandonment feelings starting to surface. Monitor your own behaviors too as a parent to see if there's anything you do that makes it sound like more abandonment. You know, do they hear conversations where you're saying, I don't think I can keep this child, I don't think I can raise them, or what have you. You know, that's going to trigger and create new abandonments. Just be really clear. And if they're new to your home and they're kind of little,